Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to another Awaken Chaos Era video. This is my 3-week account tour, 100% free to play. Some things are changing, and you're going to see this series change a little bit too, so we're going to talk about that. But first, before we do, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. Just a quick reminder, all the links to my social media are in the description below, so definitely check that out. Join us on Discord where we're talking about the game, sharing tips, tricks, and strategies. All right, so this series is going to change a little bit as we move forward. So this is just over 3 weeks. This is where I am. Not going to go through, I'm going to go through kind of the typical where I'm at, but also what I've learned along the way. And then I'm going to do my 4-week one. After that, it's going to be a monthly series just because of the progress between weeks is definitely slowing down because it's a lot of farming and getting your teams set up for the different dungeons and things like that. So it definitely slows down a little bit. Your focus shifts more towards gearing everybody up and then really kind of preparing for PvP. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. First, let's talk about where I am in Adventure. So not too much more progress has been made through Adventure. I did get up to 5.5, 5-5 on Mythic. My goal here, my primary focus here is to continue to work through Mythic, to finish Mythic so that I can farm wherever I want. I can get glyphs from wherever I want so that I can go ahead and glyph out all of my characters and all my heroes. So this is where I am in the campaign. This has slowed down quite a bit. Because a lot of it too, my focus has been shifting towards the different gear dungeons and things like that. So let's go ahead and talk about that. For me, my focus on the dungeons when we jump into here, the Arcane Dominators, is really going to be Roaring Tulpa and Queen of Tides. And the reason for that is because a lot of the gear that I use here, Roaring Tulpa, has a lot of great gear. Your Terra, so your health, your defense, and your crit gear. And then over in Queen of Tides has your attack and your curse set. Those two are pretty good sets as well that I use quite a bit of. Cursed works really well on a few of my heroes. Really working on completing some sets there for some of the heroes that I do have that I'm working on there. So we'll go ahead and jump into my roster here in a minute. So those are what I'm working on as far as those go. As far as the other dungeons, you can see where I am on each one of them. Almost on the late for Queen of Tides and Gemini Dragons. The cool thing is Arcane Dominator dungeons. They did get a little bit of a buff where you should see some more higher level gear dropping once you hit stage 9 and higher. So that's what I'm really working towards right now. Also Tower. We're working on the Void Tower. I'm only level 70 here. I need to continue to work through that. So my teams that I'm really focused on right now are my farming teams for Mythic, as well as my team for Tulpa and Queen of Tides. Whatever I can do on the towers, I'll do on the towers and get that taken care of. So that's kind of what I'm focused on right there. Endless Trial as well. I keep going out of here. Endless Trial as well. Right now, level 50. I'm having some difficulties on this one, so I'm really kind of focused on this as well. It's a whole lot of really just trying to figure out what teams work best for what, but also trying to use your time in game as efficient as possible. Which is why my two main focuses, even though I'm kind of dabbling in all of this, my two main focuses are getting through Mythic and then getting up to Tulpa 12 so I can get better gear for some of the heroes that I use more consistently, especially for the crit gear and things like that. So, so we just went over that. No Man's Land we just took a look at. So if we take a look at my roster here, here's what I'm mainly focused on. My main farming team remains the same. I have Hydrissia here. She's maxed out on everything. The only thing I need to do is get her gear to 6-star, and it's the crit gear that I'm using for her, which is why I need to get through Roaring Tulpa so I can get my 6-star gear there. Then I have Cain, Celestial Cain. Works very well with his shield. I really like that. His shield and his taunt right here. Taunt is kind of different in this game. I'm sure you've noticed it's not getting everybody to attack you. It's you attack one person, it applies that taunt. That person then attacks you on their next attack. As long as the taunt did hit and land, they attack you with their basic. So it kind of negates them a little bit. And then, like I said, this is the shield. Be invincible to all members for 1 turn. So that is definitely helpful. So we have those two, and then the two, and I've got a video coming out to talk about my top my top mistakes, but right here too, really focusing on Zachary and Connor. They are used in a lot of these different team compositions to get through a lot of these different dungeons and stuff. So I'm working on them as well. They are part of my farming team. So those are the top 4 members that I use. Other than I'll swap out Zachary for Zatlux. Zatlux actually is in there more than Zachary is. If I need an elemental advantage, if I need that fire, then I will use Zachary in here. Zachary and Connor are just really easy to level up and get them ascended because they're elites. And they're really the only 2 elites, in my opinion, the only 2 elites that I really would focus on. Some of these other elites, there's some other elites here that are pretty decent, but these 2 I would focus on absolutely first. Abbott I focused a little bit on because of his healing, because sometimes I need a different elemental healer than Connor. But more often than not, it's these 2 that I use more than anything else. That is my farming team. As far as Tulpa, I'm still trying to work on Tulpa, but my Tulpa team here, kind of what I'm looking at. Actually, let me go over here into Tulpa and show you what I'm working with right now. So I'm on stage 8. This is the team that I'm working with for my Tulpa team. Doing pretty well. I do need to get Asrina up a little bit more, and Lynn here. Lynn, his abilities aren't where I need them, so that's kind of a focus I have for him, as well as her. But her abilities are much higher leveled than Lynn is. So there we go. So there we go. That's where I'm with adventure, and kind of what my focus is there is just be able to get to farming all of Mythic. My roster, my primary focus on my roster, again, Roaring Tulpa, along with being able to do that Mythic dungeon, work on Tower, Endless Trial, No Man's Land as much as I can. No Man's Land, actually, I didn't jump into that, but that's just basically this, right? So this is where I am with that. I don't have any Dark Heroes, again, that I'm really focused on, so I haven't really focused on that dungeon there, but this is, again, your ability material farming dungeons, so you can level up your abilities. But that's where I am with those right now. As far as the shops go, I have been very stingy now with my gold and with my diamonds. Early on, I was using my diamonds to get crystals. These down here. These advanced summoning crystals, so I can summon as much as I can to build my roster as quickly as I can. Being 100% free to play, got to be a little bit more frugal. So what I do here is I do purchase all of these. Can't remember if I've mentioned this in another video, but every time the market refreshes, I do purchase the first 2 rows. There's a lot of good stuff here. The last couple rows here, I have never found anything worthwhile spending your gold on here. So I always purchase those 2 rows there. Diamond Shop, I started to purchase 3 specific things. The 4-star pumpkins out of here, I don't worry about the 3-star pumpkins, but the 4-star pumpkins, I get the 2 meal coupons because they're only 20 diamonds each. Well, it's only 20 diamonds for 2, so that's 20 diamonds for 100 energy, where typically when you refresh your energy with diamonds, it's 50 for 120. So it's a good deal right there. And then I will purchase these advanced summoning crystals once a week. It is 100 diamonds per crystal, so you're going to spend 300 a week on that, but it does save you 150 diamonds, and it does, as a free-to-play player, give you some consistent summoning crystals so you can continue to work on that. Once you get to a point where your roster is pretty well filled out and you're just really waiting on epics and legendaries, then a lot of what you summon just ends up being fodder and ascension material anyway. So you don't really need to summon as much as you do later in the game as you did early on in the game. As far as the guild vault goes, I did make some mistakes, and I was spending some of this stuff on summoning crystals. I don't recommend that anymore, but I'm really focused on saving up for Yolanda. Arena, like I've said before, I haven't put a lot of focus there, but I am saving up for Abaddon, so I'll start saving on that. I've got 167. I've got so far to go. Trial shop in here too. I'm not sure kind of what I want to do with this right now. Maybe some 4-star pumpkins, but I need to do trial on a more consistent basis to kind of really see how much you have coming in every week and what I focus on. Curious on what you all spend on the shops, kind of where you're focused in each one of these shops. Specifically for me, I'm very curious about the trial shop. As far as hero essence, I don't banish a lot of heroes. I use them for food for my other heroes. to get them all started up to where I need them. So I don't do a whole lot of banishing right now, especially as a free-to-play. I don't feel that we really have the luxury of banishing a whole lot of heroes on a normal account where I would be paying to play and I'd have a ton of summons. I can see that, but as a free-to-play, I don't feel it's much of a benefit. It's more of a benefit to keep those units so that we can star up the units that we want to star up. All right, so those are the shops. Best use of diamonds, in my opinion, now that I am where I am in this game, not in the shop because we are free to play, is I will refresh this a couple times a day. Obviously, you're free 120 every single day, and then I'll spend, I don't know, I don't think I've ever gotten this below, the daily limit of 40. I think maybe I've spent a couple hundred diamonds just so I can continue to do some work throughout the day. And then at some point, I just stop, and then I wait till the next day and wait for that to refresh. But I do use my diamonds now to refresh this. So my diamonds, they are up over 1,000 right now, and I'm very, very picky on what I use them for. And as far as other quest progressions and things like that, if we take a look at the challenge quests, here I am with them, 24 of 33, 11 of 20, and 9 of 30 on these ones right here. I don't put a whole lot of focus on these. These are all one-time rewards. They're good rewards. You get some decent rewards out of here. But again, a lot of my focus is on the farming and gearing up and getting my abilities leveled up and glyphing out my main heroes and everything. So that's where most of my focus is. And then every now and then I'll complete one of these challenge quests. But that's where I am with those. Foodies quests here. I can get actually quite a few of these done. But I am on stage 2, number 15. What does it go? Does it go to 50 like the last one did? No, it goes to 40. Maybe the last one went, no, yeah, 50, and this one goes to 40. Okay. So that's where I am with that. Haven't touched stage 3 just yet. And then the challenges, let's go jump into here. The covenants. This is where I am with covenants. I've been able to complete everything except for Ciara. Ciara, luckily I got her in a summon, so I am working on her as well, as you can see right here. So these are my 4 legendaries that I currently have. I think I have all elements, which is pretty cool. So they all come in pretty handy. Ciara is pretty good as well. All right, other than that, I think that's pretty much it as far as where I am. Level 37, the events, I'm not focused on the hero summoning event. I just don't think it's worth it. I wouldn't put any money into it. And as a free-to-play, you just kind of get the rewards that you get. I did get a few rewards here, so I did complete up to 1,200 to get those first row rewards. I don't think I'm going to get anything else after this. And then as far as arena goes, this is where I am. I'm silver 4 right now. So that is slow going for me. Not a lot of focus there. Again, my main focus is getting through Mythic, being able to farm Mythic, getting through the dungeons I need so I can get the materials I need to level up my abilities and get my gear leveled up. Because gear gets to be pretty important in this game. Your elemental advantages are very important in this game too. I think elemental advantages in this game I see more of a difference in this game than I have in other games. I've seen these elemental advantages, these rock, paper, scissors mechanics in so many different games, and none of them has been as critical to pay attention to as in this game here. So that's what I have for you. I'm very curious, what are your thoughts? Where are you as a free-to-play player in the amount of time that this game has come out? We will have one more video coming out next week to wrap up my full month. And then again, this will be a monthly series to kind of show how I'm continuing to progress. Very curious, again, on your thoughts. What do you think of this game so far? It has not hit global yet. We're probably a few weeks away. I'm hoping we're a month or less away from this game hitting global because I want to see this in more people's hands. It is a lot of fun. Just be careful not to rush too fast, because once you rush too fast and you get to the end, then there's really not much left to do except to do auto farming everywhere. But anyway, that's what I had for you. I'm loving the game. Tell me your thoughts. And that's it. I'm droning on. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comments section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.